Greetings comic lovers and welcome back to Casually Comics, the channel where we chat all things comics, from reviews of comics new and old to history to anecdotes to really wherever our whims take us. Cheetah, there's been more than one, and not all of them have stereotypical jungle cat noises written into their dialogue, although maybe they should. We first took a look at Priscilla Rich, the first cheetah who remained in that role during the Golden and Silver Ages. But sometimes it's time for a fresh coat of paint, or maybe you've just started to establish a continuity that is so long-lived that people are starting to ask questions about how someone could have been active for so long and not be aging. Because if Priscilla Rich had been active even just since the Silver Age, she would be old, and then Wonder Woman's just being mean. Although before issue 274, where we would get the Bronze Age or the second Cheetah, we would last have seen the classic Cheetah in issue 230 back in 1977, where her origin would get a soft retelling with a much heavier emphasis on her having a split personality, and the idea that her Priscilla Rich persona was good. I am the suppressed part of Priscilla Rich that must be free. The aggressor, the predator. Soon my personality will take over our body to kill Wonder Woman. No, I won't let you. Here, the cheetah's emergence is triggered by Wonder Woman's presence and the jealousy that it elicits in the cheetah. Jealousy is a hell of a drug. Props to 1977 for trying its hardest to not make her costume look silly, but that cap. Oh man, the struggle is real. Also, sassy Wonder Woman lives. You lured me here just to show off your latest toy? Sorry, honey, but I'm not impressed. Ugh, the condescending honey, always a low blow. Also, in this story, the cheetah keeps a diary, and that's how Priscilla knows that she's turned into the cheetah. She reads her diary and is like, oh no, I've become a supervillain once more. Also, she sees the costume and learns that she's figured out that Diana is Wonder Woman. The cheetah was busy. Anyway, the comic ends with her at a rehabilitation center. And so with that groundwork laid, we won't see the cheetah again in real time until 3 years later. That is in issue 274, which is where we're going right now. My voice just got deeper for some reason, getting ready for the cheetah. But before we get started, I'm Sasha, and if you're enjoying this content, you know what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Join us on this cat-filled comic book journey. That was bad, and I should feel bad, but I don't. The second cheetah was created by Jerry Conway and Jose Delbo. Watch this man closely, for he intends to conquer the world. Watch this woman closely, for she may be the only one who can stop him. And watch this woman as well. Look, cover, you're telling me to watch a lot of people. I only have 2 eyes, for she is the deadliest of the 3 by far. So what are you waiting for? Buy it already and start watching. Reading. You mean reading. We open on Wonder Woman seeing an oil spill and a tanker that has run aground on the rocks. She puts out the fire with her lasso, Flash style, and seals the hole in the ship with sheer strength and pressure. Take that, Clark, who needs heat vision. Just apply pressure. That should hold long enough to get the oil pumped off. I hope I never have to go through this again. Oh, but you will, Wonder Woman. Bet on it. Ah, stalkers. No, it's just a boat full of environmentalists. The OES, the Organization for Ecological Sanity. Not exactly a tongue roller, is it? My name's Debbi Domaine. I own the yacht. You look like you could use a shower. You're welcome to use the one in my cabin if you want. Okay, maybe I've lived in a motel on Shipper Alley off of Gutter Street for too long, but that sounded like a come on. Is that a come on? Future Cheetah, are you coming on to her? I mean, she hangs out in there with her while she showers, and then she starts telling her her life story. But I mean, in all fairness, if I was somewhere with Wonder Woman, I too would try to find excuses to not leave the room, just to be more in the presence of Wonder Woman. You're probably asking yourself what a girl like Debbi Domaine is doing with a bunch of ecology nuts, am I right? No, I never ask why socialites are anywhere. I just kind of assume. I mean, I know, you should never assume anything, but I'm jaded. So she tells her how she was staying with her aunt, and they came across a goose covered in oil and how geese are so kind, so gentle. So definitely not Canadian geese then, because those geese are jerks. Anyway, the goose died and it sent her on a path towards environmentalism. So Debbi was having a pretty good day. She met Wonder Woman, had a soda with Wonder Woman, but then when they get back to shore, she has a letter waiting for her, and it's from her aunt saying that she's dying. She has a week to live, very specifically, and can she come see her on Friday? I mean, if I found out I only had a week to live, I'd say get your butt here ASAP, but Friday works too. Also, I learned that they no longer teach cursive in certain places as a necessity in school, like it's no longer a part of the default curriculum. I know at least it isn't up here. And as a result, I know that some people can no longer read cursive. So I'm just curious, can you read this letter? I want to know. Random litmus test. But what is going on with Wonder Woman? Well, she is embroiled in a classic plot, a chef's kiss of a plot. She's got 2 dates on the same day. But how did we get there? Hold on, I'll tell you. She's having a meeting at Air Force headquarters about creating the first solar-powered city. This is as Diana Prince. And then she is maneuvered into dinner. Let's use maneuvered, that's a nice way to put it, by a General Darnell. I'd like to discuss the budget with you in greater detail, Prince. Say tonight at dinner. Or am I being too conniving? If you have to ask that, the answer is yes. Yes, you are. Conniving or not, General, you have a date. But uncomfortable workplace dynamics aside, she also has a date that night with Steve, but as Wonder Woman. Womp, womp, womp. How will she ever do 2 dates at once? Because rescheduling one is impossible. We all know that once plans are made, they can never be unmade. It's a bond, like a blood vow. But what about Debbi? Well, she's going to see her dying aunt, who is Priscilla Rich, the original Cheetah. Not that she knows that. Now that I think about it, I remember she used to disappear for months at a time years ago. I wonder what she did, where she went. Oh, you know, athletics competitions in disguise, memory wiping people, usual supervillain stuff. Deborah, oh my heavens, why did you have to come today? If he saw you. Deborah, give me your hand. Child, run. I wanted to tell you the truth about my past, but there's no time now. Not while he is here. Aunt Priscilla? She's dead! Debbi pulls back so fast she bumps into a closet, and the closet opens, and inside is the cheetah costume, and it's all nice, not a mannequin and preserved and all that good stuff, and it topples onto her, knocking her back, and she falls down again, and this time she conks her head harder and she knocks herself out. And as she passes out, a Kobra agent enters the room, and so she is captured by Kobra, who clearly have just been watching A Clockwork Orange on repeat, or reading it, but if they read it, they'd know that the ending is very different than the movie. Ah, yes. You didn't know about your aunt's secret life, did you? Well, you'll soon learn. So yeah, retcon, her aunt was at some point in league with Kobra, or they just decided that they wanted her right now because they're both animal themed? I don't know. I don't try to understand why Kobra does what they do. Maybe they just decided they were going to team up with Cheetah and they got there and she was dying and they were like, well, we need somebody else. We already sent out the flyers. Since we couldn't have the original, we decided to make a recreation. You shall be that recreation, Miss Domaine. And so they show her a bunch of environmental horrors, seal clubbing, oil spills, toxic waste, all things to fill her with rage and also make her feel trapped because she's strung up and can't move. And then they add the electroshock. Debbi Domaine struggles to maintain her sanity. She really does. But there are limits after all. Debbi Domaine reaches her limit and is pushed beyond. That's nice and all, but what about Wonder Woman and her 2 dates? Also, Darnell turns out to be not a complete cad. I mean, not totally, kinda. I want to apologize for manipulating this dinner, Diana. If you want, I'll take you home and we'll forget the whole thing. Translation: please don't report me. Diana, however, soldiers on. Pun entirely intended. Actually, Phil, I'm looking forward to this evening. Why you lie to Phil like that? Have the man take you home and go out with Steve. Also, if he tries anything, report him. Report General Darnell. But no, it's better to take them both to the same restaurant and dash back and forth between them like a cartoon character. Anyway, the brainwashing / conversion supervillain therapy is done, complete, and it was excellent. It worked well. Do you know who you are? I know. You are the avenger of wronged nature. You are the savior of oppressed animal kind. You are my servant, and I am your master. You are the cheetah, and I changed your costume. I hope you like it. Hair out with the cat ears? I mean, it's a little better than the swim cap, is it? I don't know, you tell me. She actually fights Wonder Woman in the following issue, saving her from both her awkward dates. Actually, no, that doesn't happen at all. In fact, we never see those dates because they were that unimportant. Instead, Cheetah commits ecological terrorism, first destroying a dam that was one of Steve Trevor's pet projects, so he gets chewed out, and so Wonder Woman's kind of like, I guess I better investigate that. Also, dam, flooding, people on rooftops. Because Cheetah's whole motivation now is the whole people are the scourge of the earth and they're destroying the planet and we need to kill them all so that the planet may live. You know, standard ecology plots. Wonder Woman is all, this new Cheetah is insane. And also she instantly recognizes her as Debbi from having one conversation with her. So Diana must be a whiz at outing other people's secret identities. Also, she says she identifies her by voice, but I don't see why that would be required when she is in no way wearing a mask at all. I've learned a great deal in the last 24 hours. Wow, 24 hours? Kobra's brainwashing department does great work. She's far worse than Priscilla Rich. All the original Cheetah cared about was personal revenge on her imagined enemies. Well, it's a good thing that Priscilla's dead, because as true as that is, it hurts. Oh, also Debbi briefly gets her lasso, which cements her as the Cheetah in Diana's mind, because again, getting the lasso, it's a Cheetah thing. The issue ends with Debbi seemingly dying, and then Wonder Woman having to have a confrontation with Kobra at some point in the future. What a time to be alive. So that was the introduction of the second Cheetah. I appreciate the call to legacy. I do. I mean, they're trying really hard to have these two Cheetahs connect. But I mean, did we really need the brainwashing element? She could have snapped on her own and then discovered that her aunt was the Cheetah and then decided that she was going to continue on but kind of change what her aunt was doing to suit her own motivations. Did we need the elite Kobra electroshock squad? The costume is, I mean, I think better-ish. At this point, we're so used to seeing Cheetah as a full-on animal woman that seeing her in a costume always seems kind of like, whoa, Halloween store cosplay. This origin is simultaneously more grounded as far as comic book plots go, and yet less engaging in a way, in my opinion anyway. I don't know, there's something about the pettiness of Priscilla Rich and the psychology that story is attempting to bring to it in its own way. This Cheetah starts off at the behest of random Kobra masters. And while she does have a mission that pits her against Wonder Woman, it also feels like she could be pitted against anybody. She's fine, but at the same time I see why post-Crisis they would go with an entirely new Cheetah and acknowledge the original Cheetah and just kind of give a nod to Debbi by being like, she exists. She existed. It is worth noting that there is a minor contention among some fans as to whether Priscilla being Debbi's aunt is a continuity error or not. This is because of the existence of Earth 2, wherein adventures would occur with Golden Age characters, such as the original Flash, Green Lantern, etc. And they would occur in the real time that those heroes would have been having adventures when they were first published. This also included the Trinity, as they existed on both Earths, meaning that during the Silver Age, the majority of Cheetah adventures take place on Earth 2. And some feel all the World War II stories must thusly be happening on Earth 2, and that the Adventure 230 is one of them, while others view it as taking place on Earth 1. Though as mentioned, some feel that's not possible, but others feel Wonder Woman is immortal, so yes it is. And also that continuities change, wibbly wobbly timey wimey. And others feel that as of 274, it is cemented the fact that she is her aunt, continuity error or not, as Wonder Woman refers to fighting Priscilla Rich and to her as the original Cheetah, and that story is definitely taking place on Earth 1. Also going forward, that's what the fact is. Even in post-Crisis, Debbi is given a nod as Priscilla's niece. Then if you want to get real nihilistic about it, now none of them exist. They've all been written out of continuity at the time of this recording. So I'll put the question to you. What do you think? Do you think it matters, or is it one of those canonical quagmires that makes more sense and is best left alone? And is this one of those instances where one can get too pedantic with canon, which is a double-edged sword? It can be a great tool to create interconnected, rewarding adventures for longtime readers, or it can be a chain that can cause infighting and a slow transformation into the comic book guy from The Simpsons. I mean, Cheetah definitely stands out more in this story than the, oh no, Wonder Woman's got 2 dates. Although I kind of want to know if her and General Darnell settled on a budget. Like, was it actually just a business meeting? So not as strong an opening in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. I want to know what you thought. Let me know down below. Tell me all your Cheetah feelings. Do you love Deborah? If so, tell me why. And while you're commenting, do all the other YouTube things. Like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell notifications so that you never miss a vid. Thanks so much for taking some time out of your day to spend it discussing comics with me. I always appreciate it, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.